Everybody, it's me, Andrew, and this is going to be a video about the decks that I'm going to be using once fall comes. Now, I have three of the four decks I'm going to be using. I do not have the fourth one yet. The fourth one is the Dreams of Gaia Tarot. I may or may not be using it. I really don't know. Um, it depends on how I work, how I jive with it. I'm not really sure if we're going to get along or if we're going to want to see other people. So we'll get to that. If I don't use that one, I'm actually going to be using. I forgot to get that one out, but I will get it right now. If I don't use the Dreams of Gaia Tarot, I will show you the one I'm going to be using. But for my tarot deck, I am using the Lumina Tarot, just because I was thinking of which ones would be more. What is going on with my computer? Okay, a deck that would be more like really deep, and I'm actually going to read with reversals with this deck. I do believe I was just told I needed to do that as I'm shuffling, so I will be doing that. But the Lumina Tarot, I actually haven't used it in quite a while. It's been sitting in my cabinet. I'm just going to show them as I'm talking to you, just in case you haven't seen this deck all over social media since it came out. I really, really like this deck. It's one that, like I said, I haven't used in a very long time. But I have kind of been going through a deck cleanse, I guess. Really selling decks that I really no longer connect with or jive with at all. Just because I'm sick of having so many decks I never use. So if you're interested to see which decks I'm selling, you can check my Instagram at TarotAngel444 on Instagram. I'm actually selling the Mystical Cats Tarot that I will, not Mystical Cats. I would never sell the Mystical Cats Tarot. Oh my god. The Spirit Cat Oracle. Sorry. I would never sell my Mystical Cats Tarot. That's like one of my favorites. But yeah, so because fall is really a time for that shadow work, that kind of going inside and retreating a little bit as nature goes from summer and the full blossoms of wonderful things and trees are colorful to like the dead of winter where things just die and in the process of rebirthing. So I have a really strong feeling about this coming up fall, which starts in, I don't know what day it is. Today is the 13th, I believe. 14th. 13th. Hold on. What is it? 14th. So fall starts in 7 days. 8 days. 8 days. So yeah, I'm using the Lumina Tarot, and like I said, maybe the Dreams of Gaia Tarot once I get it. I'm not sure. I'll be getting it on Saturday, so I'll be able to look at it and get to know it a little bit because like it's a totally different system, and I'm not trying to fuck anything up. So I'm going to show you the decks I'm for sure going to be using, and then I'll show you the deck that I might be using if the Dreams of Gaia Tarot doesn't want to be used. I am going to be using the Lay Vampire Oracle by Lucy Cavendish. And this is a deck, once again, that hasn't seen the light of day. And I've been living here in DC for almost a year. And I haven't used it since before then. So it's been a while since I've had this deck out. But this is the back of it. And I have to say, I'm just going to talk. I'm going to show you the cards as I talk. I have to say, I've been really disappointed with the work that Lucy and Jasmine have put out with the Fairy Tale Oracle, because I had such high hopes for that card. I love this card, Supernatural. I had such high hopes for that deck. I was just like, oh my gosh, like I really need this deck. I'm so excited because I remember I was thinking about it this time last year because I was getting ready to go to Disney World. And I was like, I'm going to save my money for Disney World. I'm not going to buy the deck, but I'm going to wait until I get it back and I'll buy it. And it took a long time to come out, and I saw the pictures of it and I was just like, I don't like it. I don't jive with it. There's pictures in there that I don't feel like should be fairy tale pictures. Maybe I'm being too hard on it. I'm not sure. But it just didn't jive with me at all. And I love Jasmine Becker Griffith. Like, I love Jasmine Becker Griffith. I love her art. But that deck didn't do it. And then Lucy Cavendish's, what is it? Like I don't know what it's, an oracle deck about fairies. I was just like, I wasn't that impressed with that one either. So I don't really know what they're going to come out with next, but I hope it's a lot better and a lot more like cohesive as a project than the Fairy Tale Oracle, because it was just disastrous to me. I still haven't bought it, and it still pains me because I really wanted it. This is an interesting card. So yeah, this deck is really good to use for fall because obviously Lay Vampire, so it's good for the Halloween witchy Samhain kind of time of year. And I feel like this deck really brings out the darkness in us. Not brings it out like I'm a dark person now, but like it helps us confront the bullshit because, you know, I feel like a lot of times like light workers and people that work with angels and stuff are scared of like this dark side of things, and I kind of feel like it's kind of dumb because every human has, to quote Sirius Black, everyone has light and dark inside of us. It's what we choose to act on. So that's what we have to look at. You know, we all have light and dark inside of us, and it's really important to acknowledge that dark side of ourselves, because if we don't acknowledge it and we just keep suppressing it, then eventually it's just going to blow up in our fucking faces, and we're just going to be like, oh my god. So, what is my computer doing? No, never mind. But, you know, I feel like it's really important to address the stuff that we are holding on to. I feel like it's important to address the stuff that we are not wanting to confront. And I feel like these decks really do help us do that. So I will be using these once fall starts. Then that weekly reading, I will be using the darker decks on a little journey. And I also have something else I want to show you guys when I am done with this. So you get the gist. This card is really I like this card. Faith. And there's also another card that I really liked, but I'm not sure if it's in this deck or if it's in another one. I do like this one though. Ancient Egypt. So that's a deck that's definitely going on my altar. I normally keep 4 decks, 2 Oracle, 2 Tarot decks on my altar, just because I like to. So the next deck that I'm using is the Oracle of Shadows and Light, which, like I was saying before, and kind of carrying off of what I was saying, is I feel like it's really just dumb that people don't embrace the dark side of themselves more, that people don't confront that dark side. This is the back, and I have said this almost every time that I use this deck or show this deck off on YouTube. This would make a kick-ass tattoo, and I really, really want to get the tattoo, but I don't want to have to give them a card to sketch because I want them to mess it up. Maybe they could do it. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I think it's super important to look at the dark side of ourselves, especially those of us that aren't used to doing it, that aren't used to seeing that side of ourselves that maybe we don't necessarily want to see, or, you know, suppressing this stuff because we have to suppress the ego and we have to be happy and filled with the white light and, you know, shield ourselves and, you know, that kind of stuff. And that's awesome. It really is. Because we do need to keep our ego in check, and I'm not saying we don't, but I'm saying our ego sometimes tells us things that we need to know. Our ego brings up real fears that need to be addressed and real things that need to happen. You can't keep your head in the clouds, la-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da, and not acknowledge what is going on. You know, we have to address the fears that our ego presents in a way that is healthy and in a way that we can move past it and fix it and move past it. So that's just, I don't know, that's how I feel about that whole thing. I feel like it's Violet Duchess. I feel like it's kind of a shame that we don't do that enough, or some of us don't do that enough. I don't do it enough. But I see a lot of. I used to have this this. I don't even know what you would call it. This apprehension of things that were dark, like really dark. Like I was always into the mystical side of things, but when things got too dark, I'd be like, "Oh shit!" Like, oh, calm down. But a lot of my friends on Facebook have opened my eyes to things that, I mean, when you look at it, and I could be wrong, totally wrong in saying this, but when you look at it, it's really not as dark. It's not as bad as people think it is. It's just there's two sides to everything: a light side and a dark side. And in the books House of Night by PC Cast, it's basically about a vampire. It's basically a vampire Harry Potter. It's a vampire Hogwarts, and I love this card. You the goddess Nyx, she says that light does not always bring good, and darkness does not always equate to evil, and which is totally true. I totally believe that, and I think the more I delve deeper into this world, the more I'm seeing that. I think this is actually the card on the cover for the Australian edition of this deck, which I don't know if there's a difference between the Australian edition or not, but I kind of want to see if there is. But I do like this card a lot. Yeah, I really feel like it's important to bring that dark side of ourselves out and to confront some of the stuff that needs to be confronted. This is Hermione Granger as an angel. But that's just my 2 cents. If it doesn't jive with you, then just say no thanks, I'm good. Kind of like I do to the Jehovah's Witnesses in DC. I'm good. It's a nice card. So yeah, once again, Shadows and Light, perfect for this time of year. This reminds me of that movie. Her kind of like face and just her reminds me of the Queen of the Damned. Even though I've never seen the whole movie, from what I've seen, it looks like the main character, or I guess the queen in the movie. Now, these are decks that I feel like you pretty much are going to need to read the guidebook for, or that I'm going to need to read the guidebook for, because I really want to get to the meat of it in conjunction with the other cards that I have. So I'm going to show you a couple more Three Fates. I do believe Jasmine drew this as a like her and the two sisters, I believe. I do believe. This is the cover for the U.S. edition, Storm Angel. Collision of belief styles, attitudes, and energy. I like that. That's nice. And oh, I love this card. Witch at the End of the World. Little green witch. That's like my favorite part about Halloween. Even when I was little, I always loved the little green witches. Loved them. I loved the little green witches. So if the Dreams of Gaia Tarot does not work out to be used, then I will only have one tarot deck and 3 oracle decks. And that one is going to be the Isis Oracle. So I actually recently got these prayer beads from a store on Etsy. Indigo Desert Moon. She is phenomenal. That's where all these bracelets came from. Indigo Desert Moon. So this is a chakra bracelet. This is a moonstone and garnet, intuition and manifestation, and clarity and transformation, aquamarine and smoky quartz. And so she actually makes prayer beads. And I saw these and I was like, oh, those are mine. And so I got him. And it is carnelian, lapis, moonstone, lapis in the middle, malachite, and then carnelian on the end with the eye of Horus right there. So I am very excited to start working with Isis in a more deep and profound way. So this deck is by Alana Fairchild, and I have a lot of her decks. I don't think I have them all, but I do have a lot of them. This is the back of the deck. And Isis is the goddess of transformation, the goddess of magic. And I like to call her my personal goddess of badassery because she's amazing. Isis is a goddess that demands respect. She demands reverence. She is kick ass. Like, you do not mess with her. I approach her with the utmost respect, and as should anybody, really. I feel like if there's one goddess you don't want to piss off, it's going to be Isis. So I love Isis. She's actually on my altar right there. So I actually have a Ganesha statue, I believe, coming soon too. I actually ordered it accidentally because I meant to put it in my cart just to see it, and then I accidentally used one click, and I was like, oh crap, I ordered it. Whatever. So, oh, how awesome is that? Lapis Lazuli is the first card we have, and that's the awesome sauce. I actually have I've made the prayers that I use with the deck, and I did it rosary style because coming from the Christian faith, it was just easier for me to come up with prayers like that for each crystal in the prayer beads to Isis. So now Alana Fairchild decks, like, you have got to read the guidebook for. Unless you've had the deck for like a million years and you've read the guidebook forward and backwards, you need the guidebook. I actually have the meditations too that Alana Fairchild did with Isis. I have those right here. I have it on CD. I should have got it on iTunes, but I have the CD of it too. So she is Isis. I love her so much. This is the title. This is the Divine Guardian. So, yeah, Isis, the goddess of transformation and magic. What better goddess to work with during this time? I actually might, now that I'm looking at this, I don't know, I may get rid of another, I may put away my Oracle of Shadows and Light and use this one instead, and just have 3 decks if the Dreams of Gaia doesn't work out. Yeah, this deck is one that'll shake you. Like, it's an amazing deck. And I can't believe I have left it in my cabinet for so long. Chariot of Ascension, Merkaba. I actually have a Opalite Merkaba. So, I do like the Merkaba. It's also associated with Archangel Metatron. Temple of Carnelian. See? Carnelian. I actually ordered some Carnelian. But it is on its way to me because I sent it to my old address in North Carolina like a freaking idiot because Mercury retrograde has been fucking with my mail. Black Obsidian, Temple of Black Obsidian, Wings of Isis. I'm not sure. Maybe if some of you know, you can let me know below. I'm probably going to Google this too, but if you know, please let me know. Is there like an initiation, like to become a follower of Isis, like to become a follower of the goddess Isis, because I would really like to start that. I would love to do that. I don't know how that works. Maybe some of my pagan witchy friends who see this video will be able to let me know how that works. And I think I might show you guys every card in this deck because it is fucking phenomenal. So I know that this video has been a little bit longer, but I mean, you're in good company, so it's fine. Oh, serpent. I do not like snakes. I actually got rid of my Wild Unknown Tarot because I couldn't read with it because of the snakes. So this deck is probably going on my altar right now, actually. I'm probably going to be doing that and getting rid of the other decks that I have and just keeping this one there. So yeah, that is my fall deck preview. And I'll be posting a video of the Dreams of Gaia and the Archangel Gabriel cards when I get them. So thank you guys for sticking with me. And like I said, if you're interested in seeing me and seeing the decks that I am putting up for sale, it is for the US only. But you can go to my Instagram at tarotangel444.com. Even if you're not in the US, you can still follow me, but only the decks that are being sold can only be sold in the US. So I am putting more decks on there, and there are still some decks that are left. So I will be seeing you guys soon. Angel blessings to each and every one of you. Bye.